Man, this is lifestyles of the poor and unfucking fortunate. But I tell you what, but bitch, we got
I guess before you dropped that first solo record, I know you dropped the Murders and Robbers. That was like underground stuff that y'all put out after. Was you in the group, the Kazi group, right? Was you part of that? Yeah,
I was.
The Kamikaze Time's Up, but that was before the first solo album, right?
Yeah. What happened was I had created that before I went to jail.
Right.
Yeah, I had created the group before I went to jail, and then when I created the group, I created the name. I put like that.
Yeah.
And then Juicy was like, well, "We could put this person on and this person on," and I was like, "All right, cool," because they was cool people. They cool people, whatever.
Yeah.
And when we got in the group, it was cool. But what ended up happening was we didn't do another one, and we should have.
Oh man,
we should have.
Kamikaze Time's Up's a classic.
Yeah, we should have did another one, but we didn't. And they were mainly pushing for me to go solo. And I mean, I didn't have no problem with it. I mean, of course, it was a bigger bag. So, and then it was like that was with Selecto Hits when I came out. That was with Sony.
Yeah.
So it was bigger,
So that album, like you recorded, because I know you said you the Aggravated Robbery was like mid-90s. I remember because you were saying it was during the time, like around the time that the Menace to Society came out and all that. So like you recorded those verses when that was what you got out.
You talking about Get It Green or
the Kamikaze Time?
That was when I got out.
That's when you got out. Okay.
Yeah, when I got out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got and then of course you dropped Get It Green, which is a classic one for sure.
Yeah.
That one. That's the first time I had heard you because I'd always been a fan of 3 6 Mafia, and I'd heard you and just didn't know it, I guess, because you didn't have a solo record yet.
Yeah.
Because I had the Kazi album, but that Get It Green CD, man, that's one of those that me and my buddies bought so many times because it was just one of those that you just let ride or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you see once you did that first solo record? Did you really start to feel like this is taking a turn, or was you just because y'all are already bubbling then anyway?
Yeah,
with the chapter 1 and 2 and all that.
Yeah, it was because I used to be around like big rap stars. Like when Get It Green was, I was around like Ice-T them and like big rap stars that I was just like the time like L Cool J and I was just like, man, I can't believe this. Like I'm around these people, and it was crazy because they knew who I was. Like they actually was coming up to me. Like I put like this: if people didn't know who I was, as far as like just people. Like all the rappers knew who I was, and it would mess me up because when I walk in a room, they'd be like, "Oh, what's up, Project Pat? What's going on?" I used to be like, "How you know me?" Yeah. It's like, "How you know me?" But man, it was really something to me because like a lot of the people like even like Pimp C stopped us on the road one time, and he told Paul Paul said, "You know who your biggest fan is?" I was like, "Who you talking about?" He's a Pimp C. I like, "Man, get out of here, man." Like whatever, you know what I'm saying? He's like, "Nah, man. Pimp coming from he was coming from Houston. He said, man, he want to meet you, man. He wanted us to pull over because we was on our way to Houston. He was on his way to New Orleans. We was on I-10. We finna pass each other. So he get out the car. He said, man. He started reciting the lines and everything. I was like, man, this dude crazy, man.
And that's the first time you met Pimp C.
The first time I met Pimp C.
Didn't even know that he was like such a big fan of it.
I grew up on Pimp C. I was already a fan. But I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like I didn't even know that.
He felt the same way about you.
I didn't even know it. Yeah, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that one at all.
And of course on Get It Green, that's when you had, where y'all did Sippin' on some scissor after that, but they took that sample from the intro, which
Juicy did that.
Yeah, for sure. And that one turned out to be
huge. That was huge.
Sippin' on some scissor was like
that.
That's when I started noticing where like y'all were taking a mainstream like turn. It felt like y'all were starting. It seemed like with that song, it just hit different.
See, the thing is, it did. It really did. We was plenty of money, plenty of shows. But see, what people don't understand when you rapping, man. And that's how I like, pistol with Pat, got the pistol and I went to jail and stuff like that. That's why like a lot of times I can relate. I really can relate to people that's younger now when they go to jail. Now some of the stuff I can't because some of the stuff I don't understand, it's like, well, I would have never done that. But I can relate to a lot of it because it's like when you young and you in the game, you just in the game. Like it's all new to me. So I don't make that an excuse. That's not an excuse to fail. Now, nothing's an excuse to fail.
Yeah.
You just weren't thinking. You just weren't thinking. But I know when I was in it, like you saying, like it took a major turn. Now that's a good thing. That's not. We're not talking about jail and like that.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. But we wasn't even. We saw it, but we didn't. It was all like wow.
Yeah.
Like wow.
Yeah.
Like we went to New York and it was the #1 song in New York, "Sippin' on the Servant." We was like wow.
Yeah.
Because this is a city we thought we'd never get.
Yeah,
So we was just
sure.
up there doing promo, and look, it was like we was up there doing promo, and every time we used to go up there and do promo, we was like, oh man, New York, man.
Yeah.
We got some fan people, some people was messing with it here and there. It was like, maybe we went up there, maybe it was the #1 song. I was like, wow.
Yeah, man.
And then I went back up there when Chicken Head dropped, and it was the #1 song, and they still was playing "Sippin' on the Syrup," and they just stopped. And every time we used to go to New York, then after that, they was playing all that stuff on the radio.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is crazy.
That's when that hit different, man. That's what just from like a listener standpoint back then.